Just a couple hours ago, Gaydos, Senator Sinema, and maybe not the biggest political surprise out there, but she did finally confirm that she's a one and done, Gaydos. One term and out of the Senate.
All right. So let's talk about why she's leaving.
All right.
Okay. You have to get into her brain. You're going to have to get into her mind.
All right.
Because only she knows the real reason.
Sure.
There are a lot of reasons why, we can figure out why is she leaving? Why didn't she want to run for re-election? What hit you first? Why do you think she's leaving? No one runs for one term and says, hey, I don't want to do it anymore.
I think this is an example of someone who thought the job was one thing, and when they got there, found out it was something else.
So it's not because she's in third place in a Senate poll?
No, because I think if she wanted to run for re-election, she could have come out much stronger a year ago.
Right.
Could have been out front of this and maybe forced a Ruben Gallego or somebody not even to get in the race. But I think she just looked at this and said, this is not the job I thought it was.
It's interesting because Sinema not running for re-election, how many different ways can she look at this? The first one is she sees the writing on the wall and she sees the poll numbers, and maybe she believes them.
And she's in third in almost every poll out there.
And doesn't think she can win. The other, one is, hey, she went in, she's trying to get something done. She's one of the few that's trying to get something done. And all that's happening is that she's spinning her wheels in a do-nothing Congress.
Yeah.
And nothing's getting done, and she doesn't want in anymore.
It's not about legislating. It's about showing up on partisan news cable channels and throwing red meat to
She mentioned that.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Is there a third reason that we're missing? Or are those the only two? I can't win the election, so I'm leaving. I'm doing good work here. I'm putting good bills together, and no one's looking at it.
Gaydos, I have a sneaking suspicion that you have a third.
I don't know if I have a third.
Okay, because I thought you were leading me to that.
I think I know why she made the statement today.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a coincidence she did this on Super Tuesday.
All
There's
right.
no doubt in my mind.
Sure.
This is what I know about Kyrsten Sinema.
That is certainly, you could have picked any day, right?
You could have
today?
picked any day. So today's Super Tuesday, we've got 15 states, 1 U.S. territory heading to the polls. Super Tuesday is a huge day when it comes to nominating, folks from both parties. Kyrsten Sinema, everything she does is orchestrated.
Okay.
Everything she says is orchestrated. If you talk to her, it's tough to get her to go off the cuff. And so
she stays on script,
right.
on brand, whatever you want to call that. Yes,
so
she's
today,
very good at that.
I think today she made a statement. I think today she goes, listen, all of you, this is just me thinking this is what she's thinking.
I'm ready.
You're all going out there and you're voting for people that you don't even like. Some of you are going out there and voting for Biden. This guy's terrible. You're voting for Donald Trump. He's got 91 indictments or whatever the thing is. And I'm the one that's actually in the middle as an independent trying to get stuff done. Remember me, Kyrsten Sinema, got the gun legislation done. Hey, remember me, Kyrsten Sinema? I spent 6 months trying to get something done on the border.
A bipartisan border deal. Yeah.
Nobody wants to do this stuff. So I'm going to make this announcement on Super Tuesday when a lot of people are going to vote. And I'm just gonna.
It's kind of a bit of a middle finger.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't see that. I don't even think it's a middle finger to people. I don't think it's a middle finger to voters. I think that she picked the perfect day to say, I don't want to run. I'm not going to run anymore. And now we know why. Really, she's not getting anything done. She's trying, but no one wants to help her. So why not plan this out and say on Super Tuesday, hey, here's the birdie. I'm done.
She's hardly the only one. You're seeing, I would argue, you're seeing moderates on both the D's and the R's, and she certainly was a moderate Democrat before declaring herself an independent, but I think for all intents and purposes, she's still a Democrat.
I think a lot of people would argue and say she's more of a Republican than a Democrat.
But we've seen others who fit that middle spectrum, if you will. They're not the fringes, leaving Congress and the Senate, leaving government, saying there's no place for us. I don't think that's a good thing. No. I think they're conceding the Congress of the United States to the loopiest loons out there.
We got a lot of them.
Because, look at Arizona alone. Look at how Senator McCain was facing primaries and being primaried and potentially losing an election. Why? Because he wasn't a right-wing, off the deep end. Look at Jeff Flake.
He had to leave.
Jeff Flake, I remember him. We had him on, and I remember him. I'll never forget the phrase he used.
This is when he said he wasn't going to run for re-election.
Wasn't going to run, had done, and he said, there is no currency in compromise.
Yeah.
And I never forgot that. And you know what? It's more true today than it was when Senator Flake. The idea of compromising, the idea of divided government, of you're not going to get everything you want. You have to give and take because there's D's and R's in government. Well, the fringes don't believe in that. They'd rather have nothing than compromise. And so guess what? We have nothing. We have nothing on the border. No. We have nothing on Ukraine. We have nothing on Israel. No, we have nothing. Why? Because if I can't have everything, I want nothing.
Arizona Independent Senator Kyrsten Sinema. Here's a bit of what she said today.
Okay.
I believe in my approach, but it's not what America wants right now. I love Arizona, and I am so proud of what we've delivered. Because I choose civility, understanding, listening, working together to get stuff done, I will leave the Senate at the end of this year.
I think a lot of people hear that and they think, wow, she's talking down to us. I don't think that's the case at all. I think she's right. I really do. I think that maybe America doesn't, maybe Americans don't want that. They don't want a negotiation. Because if you say you do.
But Gaydos, that's you. Mm-hmm. Acknowledging that 10 or 15% fringes on both ends of the political spectrum represent everybody. They don't.
Okay,
they absolutely don't.
If 5% of America wants a rematch between Trump and Biden, only 5% want it, then why are we getting it?
Yeah.
So I'll give you the other. Let's do the math.
Okay, there's math.
95% of America doesn't want the rematch. Well, that's what we're getting.
Right. So then vote for a third party. I can't possibly vote for a third party. Well, then you're going to get exactly what you want.
We say we don't want Trump. We say we don't want Biden. But that's the only two people that folks in this country are voting for.
Here's why.
We don't want either one of them.
You ready?
And then you got Kyrsten Sinema, who's a negotiator. She's independent. She can talk to Democrats. She can talk to Republicans. But we don't want that.
We've set a system up to ensure that happens. As the political parties move farther and farther away from the middle, I argue normal people, moderate people, leave the parties. So the only people left in the parties, those that are choosing candidates in primaries, are the fringes, which means you get more and more extreme candidates. And then we look at it and go, they're both morons.
I don't get it. We have in Maricopa County more independents than any other party.
But I can't vote in the Republican primary or Democratic primary.
And I get it. It's crazy.
I can't.
Right. But we have more independents in Maricopa County than Republicans.
Correct.
We have more independents in Maricopa County than Democrats. Yet Kyrsten Sinema is in third place.
Right.
Okay, tell me how does that work? How is Gallego?
Because a lot of independents are still
Lake at 30, and then you got Sinema at 21.
Heavy lean R, heavy lean D. The idea of a complete independent in the middle coin flip every time, I don't think that's a huge number of people. You do lean towards one side or the other.
So if you look at Arizona, we've always said it's purple. Mm-hmm. Then why can't she win a race?
Yeah.
If we're purple, why is she in third place?
No independent has ever won statewide or national race in the state of Arizona.
Because the people are scared.
Yeah.
They're scared to vote for someone other than an R and a D.
Right. You don't vote for who you want. You vote against the one you don't want.
All right. Kyrsten Sinema announcing she will not run for re-election. We talked to her office today, and she said she'd like to come on with us this week. We're working on it.
Outstanding.
Thanks for watching Outspoken with Bruce and Gaydos. Tap to watch more from KTAR News and click the button in the middle to subscribe.